Okay, the topic of my special lecture is the Blue Ocean Strategy for Branding and Image Building of the TVET. If some people they have not heard of this, what is this Blue Ocean Strategy? Then I'll discuss it on the way during my session. The contents of my session, my lecture is the first is Introduction to the Branding and Image Building. This is the very first session of this training program, so I thought of starting from the very start. The second is the image of the TVET, the challenges and the strategies. The third is the brand development process. The fourth is the application of the Blue Ocean Strategy for branding and image building of the TVET, which exactly is the topic of this specific special lecture. Fifth is measuring the impact of the branding initiatives, which is again very important. You may take certain initiatives, but what is the impact of those initiatives? You need to measure, and then you need to take the corrective action also later on, and then the concluding remarks. Okay, just 1 second, please.
Sir, sorry, there is some, okay,
Uh,
okay. Okay now, sir. There's
okay.
some portion that blocking the
Yeah,
presentation, sir.
yeah. I'm just trying to keep this on a side. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, when you see these two logos, what comes into your mind? Now, I am not taking any questions or comments from the audience because it is an online training program. So let me first complete my session as it is, and then I can take your question answer sessions at the very end. You see, on the left, we have the logo of the Google. So just the G has become so, famous, so prominent. When you look at this G, we know it is a Google, right? Or a Google Chrome, basically. On the right hand side, we have this the logo of the Apple. You have this iPhones, the Apple basically. So when you just look at this, logo, you just look at this picture, you can see that it is basically meant for the Apple. So this is the impact of the brand. By just putting a small picture, a small photo of, of something, the whole company, such a huge, multinational companies, they have made a brand for themselves. That is impact of the logo, which is a part of the branding. Uh, 1 second, please. This is coming in between. Okay. Now, what exactly is a brand? A brand is a product or a business with a distinct identity among the consumers. It can be a product, a brand of a product, or brand of a business which has a distinct identity, uniqueness amongst the consumers. Like if I talk of the logo of the CTVT, it's a very unique logo. So when you see the logo of the CTVT, you can relate with the CTVT, right? In fact, CTVT is written as a part of the logo, but sometimes it's not written inside the logo. You can just see at the logo and you know that it is the CTVT. A brand is created through the design. So first we make a design, then do the necessary packaging and the advertising elements that distinguish the product from its competitors. So what is the point? We want to be a little different from the competitors. We want to have our separate brand. Okay. So first we do the designing. If I talk of the designing in the academic, the field, in the TVET field, because this is all the definitions, which are meant for the corporate sector or for the industries or for the enterprise or for the companies. But if we talk in terms of the TVET or in terms of the academic area, what exactly is the design? The design is basically the curriculum, right? So when we design a curricula, that basically goes into the TVET. So the basic is the curricula, right? And then the packaging. How do we package that thing, right? The entire, even what is our ultimate output? The ultimate output is our students. So how do we package our students, right? In a complete wholesale, sort of, which is a wholesome person. And not only he has only the technical knowledge only. So the packaging of the In fact, we have the finishing schools in, I'm not sure about Nepal, but in India, we have the concept of finishing schools. So before the end of the term of that student, before he or she completes the degree or the diploma, we have the finishing schools in which we train and the student on different areas. You talk of this communication, you talk of this non-verbal, the body, gestures. So a complete totality the person is trained. So that is a package which we give to the industry, and that is why they become employable. And the advertising of course is required for doing this branding that distinguish from the competitors. So you have a lot of competitors. If we talk of the TVET institutions in Nepal, there are many TVET like colleges. So how one college, one TVET institutions can distinguish itself from the other institutions, so you have to make a separate sort of a branding for that. The very word brand, it comes from the Middle English, that is the Old English, and originally meant the fire, flame, or the burn, right? It originally referred to the branding, the act of burning a mark or an object or an animal to signify the ownership. You see, in the olden times, we need to put, it's like a tattoo basically. It's like a tattoo. In fact, I can talk of my country, maybe like in India or in Pakistan or maybe in Nepal also. In the olden times, the women who were married, so they used to put the a tattoo of her husband's name on her arm, which basically, sort of signifying the ownership that this lady, I'm talking of the olden times, that this lady, I mean, the husband is the owner of, such and such person is the owner of, let us say, this lady, or let us say vice versa. So that is basically the from where it has come. Even on the animals, I have seen, like, if a person, a farmer has, let us say, 50 cows, they used to put a sort of a stem, a sort of a tissue, something, burning something, skin, which shows a sort of insignia that shows that who is the owner of this specific, let us say, animal in that case. So that is from where this word has come, the branding. Now, in branding, which are the most important things? First is the logo. I showed you the logo of the Apple and the Google Chrome. These are all basically the logos. Logos, brand a logo is only part of the brand. It shows about the product basically, just gives an idea basically. And then the values. When you talk of the values, we talk of what values do you have. If we talk in terms of the, let us say, TVET institutions, so which values do you portray? The values could be, let us say, integrity, or maybe sustainability, or conserving the environment, or things like that, basically, right? Things like that. So, what values do you portray? And the students and the teachers of that specific college, what values do they portray, right? And then, the marketing, marketing, of course, if you talk of the branding, marketing is the in thing, because marketing is required to do the branding. And the ultimate purpose is the audience, right? For the people to know that, yes, we are there. This is our brand. This is the logo of our brand, just to let the people know, right? Like if you go to the developed countries, like I have been to Canada so many times, my daughters, they live over there. And in Canada, even in US also, people are very brand conscious. So if you want to, if they will take an Apple iPhone, they will take only an iPhone only. So they're very brand conscious because they are rich people. So they do not care, they do not bother much about the money part. So they're very brand conscious. In countries like India or Pakistan or the South Asian country, we are more of, the price conscious. We look at the price. Branding, the people who are very rich, they go after the brands only, but the people who are the middle and the lower middle and maybe even upper middle also, so they are more into the pricing. So they will compare the branding vis-a-vis the pricing. If the pricing is giving much more benefit to them, they will forego the branding. But if the difference is not, let us say, that much, then they'll go for the branding, right? So what is a brand image? Brand image is a consumer's interpretation of your company and its products and services. So what do I perceive as a consumer? What is my interpretation of your company or your institution or your products? Your products are your students basically. What are your services? The teaching, learning, that is our services. So what is my perception? What is my interpretation? That is known as the brand image, right? Which the consumers or the customers have about the company, about an institution. It takes form inside the consumer's mind based on their experiences and interactions. How do we form this, this, all this, the interpretations based on our experiences, based on our interactions. We see, we even look at the news, and that is how we make our, we make our minds, as well as their perceptions of your company's mission and the values. A strong brand image can create a brand recognition and encourage the formation of a loyal client base that can provide a company with profits for years to come. So if I have seen many people who are so brand conscious because they are so happy with the company, with the products, the company has a certain values. They are not, destroying the environment. They are not using the child labor. Some people are so conscious about all these things, right? So that is how we tend to create a, strong a brand image. So that is, the brand image means the perception of a company in your mind, consumer's mind or the customer's mind, right? Now I am talking of the customer and the consumer. See, there's a difference. See, if I go to buy a, let us say, if I go to the market to buy something for my wife, so I am the customer, but I am not the consumer. Why? My wife is the consumer. So we have to be little different. Sometimes the customer can also be a consumer, but we should know the difference. The person who buys is the customer. The person who consumes, who uses actually that product or a service, is known as the consumer. Now, what is a brand identity? That was a brand image. Now, let us talk about the brand identity. Brand identity is about a brand, is about how a brand wants to be perceived, while brand image is how the consumers perceive it. There's a difference. So how the company wants me to see their brand, that is a brand identity. That means they want me to see something, what they want to portray. But what I perceive is the brand image. There's a distinction. So for the consumers or for the customers, it is the brand image. But what the company portrays or what the institution portrays, that is the brand identity. Okay. So ideally, it should be the same, but normally it is not the same, because what the company portrays and what the people have experiences, that can vary, that can differ. So this is in a graphical format, the distinction. A brand identity is how a brand perceives and markets itself, whereas a brand image is how the brand is perceived by the people, by the customers or by the consumers, right? So we have to make a, and that is where the impact of the branding comes, right? Trying to balance in the brand image and the brand identity. That is how the role of the marketing, the advertising, and the branding, everything, which comes into the play. Now, when we see this logos, what it comes into our mind, like McDonald's, just M. You go to any part of the world, we have more than 200 countries in the world, I think 204 countries. M written anywhere, we know it is McDonald's. So McDonald's has a certain, certain quality of their products and services. You go to the McDonald's in any country, there will be a uniformity and there will be a quality. So we go to the McDonald's in any country without hesitation, because it's a quality product. Similarly, the Disney, again, it is a brand, right? The Disney, right? Okay. Your brand is more than just a logo. Logo is just a part of the brand. Logo is just the face of a brand. It is everything that defines you, including your vision, mission, goals, responsibilities, and the values. So when you talk of the brand includes your vision, your mission, your goals, your responsibilities, and your values. Okay. Now this is the sort of an a process of the image building. Like first we determine what should be the identity, right? And then we project the desired identity. First we think what should be our identity, and then we try to portray or project that identity. For that we create an image, right? We create an image. From the image, we try to gain the reputation. If we are able to gain the reputation, that means if we are favorable, we go down, we enhance or bolster the image, we keep on improving, and then we institutionalize the whole image. But just in case our brand is not getting reputation, not getting the reputation, it's an unfavorable, we again go back, we try to rebrand or rehabilitate the images, and then the process, let us say, continues till we are able to get the favorable reputation for our brand, right? The importance of building a strong brand in today's educational landscape. This I have taken from the UNESCO Univoc, the website. And this is an article by Dr. Shyamal Majumdar, who is one of the former Director Generals of the CPSC. So, what are the importance of building a strong brand? This thing first is attracting the students. If we have a very good, let us say, strong brand, like if we go to India, in India we have the IITs, Indian Institutes of Technology, or Indian Institutes of Management, topmost brand. You talk of technology, engineering, people go to first preference is the IITs because they have made a brand for them. In the field of management, it is the IIMs. They have made a brand for themselves, right? If not IIT, which is second most, the NITs, the National Institutes of Technology. So they say branding, right? So that is the impact of a brand, and it takes a lot of years of hard work to make a brand. It doesn't just by putting a logo doesn't come. So they have made a name for themselves through sheer hard work and a lot of dedication over the years. So attracting students, branding plays a crucial role in attracting students to your institution. Second is building reputation. A strong brand helps build trust and recognition. When they see a specific brand, I was saying, let us say McDonald's, or let us say Starbucks, or let us say KFC, you have certain trust that if I go into this, let us say shop, there will be a certain quality, which I will be able to get it over there. Then the industry partnerships. Effective branding creates opportunities for collaborations with industries and stakeholders, which are essential for the success. Like CKC is a very famous brand in the Asia Pacific region. Now we are not going anywhere. People are coming to us, almost on a daily basis. We are getting 2 to 3 delegations, sometimes from the ILO, sometimes from the United Nations World Food Program, many organizations from the ADB, very senior people from the ADB, the top executive director, they are coming to the CPSC. Although we are much smaller than the ADB, but they are coming to us because we have made a brand for ourselves through sheer hard work, for the last more than 50 years. So similarly, if you make a brand for you, if the industry knows that this is a very good institution for the placements, for giving the jobs, the people from the industry, I mean the different companies, they'll come to your doorsteps. Similarly, like if I talk of India or any other country, so the IITs, the NITs, so their students they get a 2 to 3 placement letters even before they leave the portals of the institution. So that is impact of the branding. Then long-term sustainability. A strong brand contributes to long-term success and the relevance. Once you have a very strong brand name, the money will pour in. The money will pour in. Let me give you one example. If you go to, let us say, MIT. In fact, I have been to MIT. I have been to Harvard also. I have been to the Oxford also. When you get an admission in the MIT, I know this thing because one of my colleague's son got admitted in the MIT for doing his MBA over there. So their fee is very high, like it is 1 crore. If you talk 1 crore, no, maybe more than 1 crore. So when they send the admission to the students, to the candidates which get, let us say, selected, people apply from throughout the world and very few get selected over there. So one letter comes from the admission committee, one letter comes from a bank. So they have tie up with the banks over there to give the loan to the students, because people cannot afford to pay so much of money, because this is a brand of the MIT. The banks know that once this student, this applicant, this candidate, once he does his MBA or whatever degree he's doing from let us say MIT, he will get the top job and he can easily return the money to the bank, right? So the banks have that much of confidence in the brand of the MIT or of the Harvard or other, like Harvard, etc., Oxford, etc. That is the impact of the branding. But they have made this brand, over sheer through a hard work over a long period of time. So I'm taking this again like one and one. So attracting students, I already discussed, building reputation, industry partnerships. The industry prefers those institutions which have a very strong branding, which make students which are who are really knowledgeable, who have the hands-on training. They know, they have the knowledge, they have the skills, they have good attributes, good attitudes, good command over the language, communication skills, etc. Long-term sustainability I have already discussed. Now let us go to the second part of my presentation, which is on the image of the TVET, right? The challenges and the strategies. Again by Dr. Majumdar, he says, what are the challenges for the TVET, for the image of the TVET? Is the poor quality. In most of the countries we have seen, even in India we have seen, most of these ITIs, industrial training institutes, which are the TVET colleges basically, or schools basically, the quality is very poor, right? The programs, the curricula, what they're offering is entirely, miles away from what is happening in the industry. Industry has gone to industry 4.0, industry 5.0, and what we're teaching is, industry maybe pre-industrial times. Weak linkages with the stakeholders, particularly with the industries. So I think there are some very rare, examples where where the institutions have very good liaisons or the partnerships. But in most of the cases, I'm saying most of the cases, the linkages are only at the superficial level, right? Not a very strong, intense partnership or integration. Then social stigma and cultural barriers. TVET is often seen as a second option compared to the formal education. That's why we're discussing in the opening ceremony also. Because TVET is mostly, it is blue collar people, they prefer the white collar. But nowadays, the skills have become the central agenda in the whole of the world. So in the times to come, TVET will be at number one and the general education will be at number two. Lack of qualified and competent teachers. This is also one of the major reasons. The teachers or the instructors, they have no, they are not in tune with the times. Sometimes the students, they know much better than the teachers. The teachers, they have never gone to the industries, never gone to the enterprises. They have no idea what is happening over there in the industries. They are afraid to go to the laboratories, the workshops, because they cannot demonstrate the experiments over there. I have seen many teachers who are afraid of going to the labs and to the workshops because they are afraid. They do not know how to operate. So this all these things, they are creating the bad image. While the importance of the TVET is increasingly recognized in international discourse and policies, the image of TVET can be quite challenging when compared with the other educational pathways such as higher or academic education. Even in our countries where there is a high quality TVET system, initial enrollment in the TVET is declining, and many students continue to prefer to follow the academic education track as their first choice. Even if they are not getting a job after that academic qualifications, they still prefer the academic qualifications, right? The low image of TVET is therefore a universal concern. And now we have the things are, of course, the things are changing nowadays. We have a changing role of TVET nowadays. There are old paradigms, there's a new paradigms. It all depends from country to country, of course. In some countries, we are really into the new paradigms. In some countries, we're still into the old paradigms. But let us discuss. In the old paradigms, we used to say it's a supply-driven approach. That means you take a student, training for 2 to 3 years, in a polytechnic 3 years, in a TVET for two years maybe, and then push them into the market, push them into the industry. It's a supply driven. But now we talk of the demand driven. If the demand comes from the industries, only then you train a student to be ready, right? There's no point of training a student and throwing him into the industry when there's no demand. The old paradigm says training for the employment, right? You train him for 2 to 3 or 4 years, and then he is trained for whole of lifetime. But now it's a learning for the employability, because the things are changing very fast nowadays. The technology is changing very fast nowadays. There's nothing which is known as one-time learning. It is learning to learn all the time. So you train a student how to learn basically. So if you go to all the developed countries, they are not spoon feeding the students. They want to be them to be self learners, so that they can remain employable rather than getting employment, which is a one-time affair. They should be employable. They can get the employment, with the passage of time. Old paradigm says one-time learning. Now we talk of the lifelong learning. Old paradigm says training and focus on the teacher or the trainers. Now we talk of the self-learning and focus on the learner, which is very important. We must throw the focus on the learner, right? Old paradigm says education and training are separated. Education in the colleges, training in the industries. Now we talk of integrating them. That let industry and the academia, let them integrate. Let them have a very close partnership. Old paradigm says specialization in one skill. Now we talk of the multi-scaling. Old paradigm says rigid and fixed entry and exit. Now we talk of flexible and multiple entry and exits. People, they can come, they can complete a semester, they can go back, they can start the job, they can come back after some time, they can have another this thing round of education. So that is why there's a multiple flexible entry and exit. Old paradigm says focus on the formal sector. Now we talk of both formal and informal sector, because informal sector is much bigger than the formal sector. The employment opportunities are much more in the informal sector, especially for the TVET graduates. Old paradigm says training for the wage employment. That means for getting a job. Now we talk of training for the wage and self-employment. Not only wage employment, but self-employment or entrepreneurship. Old paradigm says policy and delivery is dominated by the state. It is a state. It is a state which is deciding. But now we talk of the market driven. It is a market. It's industry which says what you have to teach basically, so that the person is employable at their end basically. Some misconceptions about the branding in TVET. Branding is only for the big institutions. This is a misconception that it's only the big institutions, the big universities. It is meant for them only. No, even for the small institutions, branding is for everybody, right? The second misconception is that branding is the marketing. That is again a misconception, right? Branding is often confused with the marketing. However, branding is about creating a lasting identity, while marketing is a promotion of that identity, right? So marketing with the branding, we are trying to create an identity, and the marketing helps us in creating that identity, right? So marketing is just basically a vehicle only or a tool only. The third misconception is branding is static. No, it's a lifelong affair. If you see the Pepsi and the Coca-Cola, no, everybody knows about the Pepsi and Coca-Cola throughout the world, but still they keep on branding themselves again and again and again, so that people they may not forget. It's a continuous, it's not a static affair. Now, next is the stages of the brand development, the third part of my presentation. So there are 4 stages. I'll take them one by one. The first is the research and analysis. In this, we understand the target audience and the industry demands. So first comes the research and the analysis. In fact, for any activity, research comes the very first. Understanding the target audience. Who our target audience? Mainly the students, right? So for the students, which are basically the pain points. And we have to address the pain points of the students. What are the pain points? The pain points could be the teachers are not that good, right? They do not have any industry experience. The pain points could be the facilities in the college, they are not good. The labs and workshops are almost dysfunctional. we are not getting any employment, right? There's no placements, right? These are all like the pain points of the audience, right? So you have to understand the pain points of the audience, right? Even our competitors also, we have to compare with the competitors also, what they're offering and what we are offering. And the industry demands. Industry means the world of work. When I say industry, industry is a bigger umbrella. I talk about the world of work. People go to the large scale sector, large scale industry, the corporate, the middle, the small scale. People go to government departments for getting a job. These are all basically industry. This is basically the world of work I'm talking about, right? So we have to understand the target audience and the world of work, right? Only then we can do the proper effective branding. The second is, identify your goals and the objectives, right? For any institution, so these goals should be the SMART goals. We normally say specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, right? There should be, in fact, I'll discuss a little later in the slides. Every institute must do the strategic planning, right? We do the planning, but it is only on the papers, right? So what is my planning for the next 10 years or 5 years or 7 years? That strategic planning, that corporate planning basically. What is my vision of my institute? Where I want to take my institute after 5, 10, 15 years, right? There should be a vision, a realistic, a little, ambitious, come realistic sort of a vision, right? Then what would be my mission? What would be the goals? What would be the objectives, and what would be the strategies and the activities basically. Next is developing the brand identity, right? Creating the visual and verbal elements such as logos. Now, how do you create a brand? You have the logos, logo of the Google Chrome, logo of the McDonald's, logo of the Apple. These are all logos, right? Slogans, right? We are targeting all the five senses basically. The visual senses, the hearing senses. We should try to capture all the five senses preferably I'm saying, right? If you're able to capture all the five senses, that will be very, very effective, logo or brand. So logos, slogans, and messages that communicate your brand's core values and the mission. Next is brand positioning. Where do you position yourself in the entire scheme of things? So defining the brand's unique place in the market based on your strengths. If you have, let us say, 100 TVET institutions in, let us say, Nepal, so where do you position yourself? At number 2, at number 5, at number 10, or at number 1, or at number 100? How do you position yourself? It will depend on your strengths, your values, and your desired outcomes for your students. And I keep on repeating again and again that these things, they take time. They may take 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years of very sheer hard work. But once you have that image, once you have that brand image, then you are right at the very top. But that is again a continuous process. It's not like a one time. You have to keep on reinventing all the time. Then the brand messaging and communication. Communication, your message and values through marketing and the other means. Now, this is a study was done in Bangladesh regarding the branding TVET at the national level. This study was done in 2024, last year only. Now, what do they say basically? What is the actions for branding the TVET at the national level? This they have given a sort of a ladder. First is they say they talk of creating the brand identity that echoes with core values of skill development and employment. So the skill development, when you talk of the TVET is basically the skills, right? We have different levels of education. We talk of the engineering education at the professional level, which has maybe around 70-80% theory and only 30% practicals. We talk of the polytechnics, which come somewhere in the middle, who make basically the technicians or the supervisors. For them, maybe it is 50-50% theory, 50% skills. But when we talk of the TVET at the lower level, is 70%, 80% skills, right? And only 30% maybe theory, right? So the skills and the employment. There's no point of getting the skills if you cannot be employable. either getting a job or self-employable, right? So that is the very first this thing, point. The second is leverage the digital platform for marketing. Now, once you have done that brand identity, then you have to let the people know. Use this social media, use this, marketing tools, digital platforms. Third is form strategic alliances, right? We are not, like adequate in ourselves. Even CPSC, being an international, we are not also adequate. We have a lot of liaisonings, a lot of we do the liaising with CTVT, with the senior WalkTech. In fact, we have got a regional program in the month of June in Brunei. And Brunei is not the CPSC member country, but Brunei has senior WalkTech. So we have done the liaising with the senior WalkTech to have a collaborative training program for all the Asia Pacific countries in Brunei. That is the liaising. We liaise with the ILO, with the ADB, all this we are liaising basically. Then organize community engagement programs. Let the people know through the community engagement because, by the word of mouth, like from year to year, you can also spread. Then maintain education standards. You may keep on doing all these things, but if you're not maintaining your standards, everything will be zero. So the quality is the baseline, and only then you can do the branding, right? So maintain education standards and towards showcasing accreditation and certification. Yes, I was talking about this in the opening ceremony also. You see, when you get these accreditations, they showcase your quality. When you get, let us say, ISO is basically quality. That means you are performing certain things. You are maintaining certain operations basically. Similarly, when you get a national accreditation or international accreditation, that shows that you have some quality, parameters. So that is again a branding basically. When you get an APEC, like we are promoting APEC in the Philippines, many have got the platinum, the topmost. APEC has many layers, starting with the bronze plus silver, gold, and platinum. We have 500 points, and 490 plus is the platinum, and we have some in the Philippines, and a lot in the Malaysia also. No, like in the Philippines, the institutions which have got this APEC accreditation, they are getting some special funding from the government of the Philippines, some extra scholarship that they are providing. That is the impact of that branding, right? When we came to Nepal in the month of January to conduct that regional training program, I was talking to all the CTVT people, to the vice president, vice chairperson, engineer Mesh Bhattarai, the member secretary, and all those people, that please go for the APEC accreditations. Because when you go for the APEC accreditations, see, we of course, we are trying to promote APEC, but the basic purpose is to improve the quality of the institutions in all the member countries. That is the basic purpose of, like promoting. We want, because it's a very stringent process. Once you apply for this process, it may take 5 to 7 months, but in that process, the whole quality gets, automatically improved. So that, and you get a brand also, you get an epic brand also. So the people, they can move, your faculty members, your students, they can go to other institution in other countries. We are trying to now have this, faculty exchanges, to student exchanges amongst the epic accredited institutions, right? So that will be another benefit. And secondly, the faculty members, this people from the CDVT, they can become accreditors, they can become lead accreditors, they can go to the other countries also for accreditations as a team members. They can also go. So that is a benefit. So it's a win-win situation for the CPSC and for the member countries. And this is also we're trying to promote as the accreditations, as a part of the building a strong brand image. Okay. This is again, a sort of a statement we can say. All efforts to revamp the TVET system as the preferred education pathways must be accompanied by focused national level branding initiatives targeting specific groups such as the students, parents, and the industry. When you talk of the branding, who are our stakeholders? Stakeholders are mainly the students. In countries like Nepal, maybe the parents also, because it is the parents who give the money to the students for their fee, and the industry, which are the ultimate consumers of the students, right? So we need to target these people, the students, partly their parents, and the industry. primarily the students and the industry, but partly to the parents also. The TVET should be highlighted as a potential incubator for entrepreneurs in order to attract more high quality students. Collaborative community projects at TVET institutions should be encouraged to create linkages with the local community and improve the perception of the TVET. When you go to the community, your villages and towns, and when you do some good work for them, the perception changes. Perceptions, it becomes better and better. And finally, the participation of the TVET trainees in national and international skills competitions should be promoted through new and traditional media to raise the image of TVET, thus motivating more youth to enroll into the TVET programs. So the more you do quality work, the more you do the community work, and the more you do the branding, image building, people will come to you for getting admissions. Okay, now we go to the fourth part of my presentation, which is the blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean strategy, I'll just take only 2 minutes to discuss what it is basically. See, there is a very famous book with the same name, Blue Ocean Strategy. It's written by two authors. One is a South Korean professor, and one is a German lady professor. Both are working in INSEAD in France, Paris, which is one of the top management schools in the world. So they have done this research for almost 10 years, and then they wrote this very wonderful book, which was published by the Harvard Printing Press in 2005. 2005. And then they wrote another book also on the blue ocean strategy. So the strategy basically says, like if you go to the market, if I go to the market to buy something, I want to buy a fan or an air conditioner or anything or laptop, I want to buy anything. There are many companies selling the same product. So there's a intense competition. There is a they say there is a cutthroat competition. The companies are trying to cut the throat of another company and trying to grab their market share. So there's a cutthroat competition and there's a bloody red ocean. This strategy says do not enter into the bloody red ocean. You do something new. You do something innovative in which there's no competition and you have a vast blue ocean in front of you where you can swim, right? So that is, in general, this is the strategy. So there's a value innovation as a part of this strategy, which is the cornerstone. It says the value for the buyer must go up and cost must come down through the value innovation. It is not talking about the technological innovation. It's talking only the value innovation. The value should go up and the cost must come down. And there's a 4 action framework. Basically, it talks of eliminating something. It talks of reducing something. It talks of raising something. It talks of creating something. We'll discuss on the way. Now, how we can apply this BOS, the Blue Ocean Strategy for branding and image building of TVET. So I have made a model, right? So this is our value innovation. That means when we raise the brand and the image of the TVET, we are raising it. The negative perception of the people about TVET, it will come down. That will be our value innovation. Now, how will we do our value innovation? Through the 4 action framework. And this is the 4 action. These are 2, and next slide we have 2 more. So what we can create, what we can raise, what we can reduce, and what we can eliminate. Let us take them one by one. So what we can create. The first is evidence-based. That means research-based policy reforms in the TVET. When you talk of the TVET sector, we do a lot of policy reforms, but normally in many countries, these reforms are not evidence-based, not research-based. People sitting at some high positions who have no link with the actual TVET system, on the field, they make certain policies. They go to certain countries, they see those developed countries, they come back and they push that system on the countries. So that sometimes is not really, not really applicable. So we'll discuss a little on the way, but should be research based. Okay. Second is public awareness campaigns. Let the entire public in the entire country know about the TVET sector and the benefits of the TVET sector. Right? We can portray. The third is the professional competence of the students. We'll discuss these 3 in my succeeding slides. Next is the capitalization of the graduate and the alumni strengths. See, we have a lot of our ex students, the alumni basically, and some of them they are working at top positions in the corporate sector and in many countries, Australia, Canada, US, UK. We are not trying to tap their energy and tap their resources basically, right? I have not seen this alumni in the polytechnics or in the industrial training institutions in India. Maybe in Nepal you have, but I'm not sure. But this is a very big resource. So the present the present students, and the ex students, those who have done extremely well, we need to have sort of associations, and try to tap the resources from there. Then forging national, regional, and international networks. I was talking about networks only. We can have the networking because we are not sufficient in ourselves. We need to do the collaborations, the networking basically. Everybody needs to have the networking, right? The concept of synergy, synergy means 2 plus 2 becomes 5. If 1 and 1 becomes 11, that is the effect of synergy. Long-term financial sustainability through the internal resource generation. We need to, sort of raise the funds by doing, internal resource generation, by doing consultancy, training programs, customized training programs. Like, right now in the CPSC, we are doing a lot, we are putting a lot of focus on the IRG. We are trying to create a lot of, the resources in terms of the money and otherwise for the CPSC through this, the consultancy assignments, the customized training programs. We are trying to target the private sector and the government sector for that. Okay. Um, so if you keep on, you see, the problem is that we do not have enough money. I'm talking of the TVET institution. So when the money is, because the money is coming from the government for the public funded institutions, now government has its limitations. They are giving, let us say, very small amount of money, and you have very less money. You really cannot satisfy your customers, your stakeholders. So we need to generate the more money. So we need to generate the money through the internal source generation. Once we have a lot of money, we can provide the services much better to the stakeholders, which will improve our image. Then the concept of finishing schools. This I was talking of, finishing schools before the finish the degree or diploma. We will train them to face the industrial world or the world of work, right? That we need to create in our institutions, the finishing schools. Then uniqueness through centers of excellence. Every institute must have some centers of excellence. Let us say one TVET college or one TVET institution has, maybe in the field, let us say automotive technology, or maybe in the field of, say, EV, or maybe in the field of, say, advanced CNC. So some centers of excellence. That means for those specific vocations or though for those specific areas, this specific institute is the best. There should be uniqueness, right? That becomes your brand. That for these two to three areas, we are one of the best, or we are the best. Next is the national, regional, international conferences and workshops. You see, these conferences and workshops, they provide a platform basically. When you conduct a workshop, people will come from different parts of the world or different parts of the country, and they will see your facilities. So it provides a platform not only for showcasing your strengths, but also for making networks, making connections basically, right? So this we need to create. The next is what we need to raise. Raise the quality assurance in the TVET sector. Quality assurance, there are three ways I'll discuss subsequently. Okay. Next is industry collaborations and the acceptance. We need to raise, improve the quality, the industry collaborations and acceptance by the industry of our colleges. Then training and development of the teachers and the instructors. Again, I was discussing raise the quality of the teachers and the trainers. For them, the training and retraining and periodic training, right, is very important. State of the art facilities. We need to have the best facilities in the schools or in the colleges. The labs, the workshops should be absolutely state of the art. Only then the people will get the benefit, when once they pass from your institution, right? Then employability and self-employability skills, we'll discuss a little on the way. Image, social recognition, and student-centered branding. The branding should be student-centered. We think of as a teacher-centered. You see, These colleges, these schools, these are meant for the students basically. If there are no students, there are no teachers. You cannot get your salary if there are no students. No students, no buildings, no labs, no workshops, nothing, nothing is there, no staff. So who is the prime person? The students. That means you should brand everything as student centric so that the students come in numbers, right? Instead of making it as a teacher or something more centric, basically. Then the digitization of the TVET institutions. Yeah, digitization. We will discuss a little, on the way. State of the art curriculum. The curriculum is again very important. The curriculum should be the top class at the country level or at the Asia Pacific level. Inclusive education, again very important. Inclusive means all the different the people who are left out. The people, they should also be part of the admissions. Then the bridging courses for the new students. When some new students, let us say they come, suppose the medium instruction, suppose the medium instruction is, let us say, English. Now some students, they come from, say, some villages, some town, so they cannot speak in English. They can understand, let us say, English. Some people, they are very weak, let us say, mathematics or scientific, let us science skills. We need to have some bridging courses wherein we can brush them up before they go into the very first semester, right? And then we need to have the vision and mission of the institute. Okay. Next is what we need to reduce the theory focus of teaching and learning. So much of theory we are teaching. No, we have to reduce the theory. Only 30% theory, 70% the practical part. Skills gaps in the students we need to reduce, right? We need to make it zero, in fact. Unemployment of the students we need to reduce, right? What we need to eliminate, the mindset towards wage employment, the whole mindset towards getting a job, wage employment. We need to shift. We need to eliminate that. Not only the jobs, they can go for the self-employment also. They can go for the entrepreneurship also. What we need to eliminate, the old machinery and the and the equipments. So the old machinery, old equipments, we need to remove and put the new ones. Now let us take them one by one in a little quicker thing mode. So I was talking about the evidence-based, research-based, implement the policies that promote TVET as a viable and respectable educational pathway. Anything concerning TVET should be evidence-based. Any policy made for the TVET sector should be evidence, research-based, basically. Do some research, do some action research, and then make those policies, right? In fact, if you see the TVET system in whole of the Asia Pacific region, TVET is really lacking. Research is really lacking. We have seen that because when we go for the ABAC accreditations, we have 7 criteria, 7 parameters, and research is always at the bottom. They score the minimum in the research. So research is basically the pain point because we are not focusing on the research in the TVET, colleges. Okay. The same thing, if you like, you can see also when you talk of the research, number 4, this is at the bottom. These are the actual, the data which has been collected from the APEC of CPSC. So there's a need to bring the national and the international flavor in evidence-based policy reforms. The CPSC can be associated with the national level bodies of your country dealing with the TVET policy reforms, and we can always give a lot of, share a lot of experiences, and we can also make much better your policy regarding the TVET, right? So there's no need for a person to come physically to, let us say, Nepal. Even online, we can also participate. I was requesting the CTVT also. The CTVT also, when we were there in Nepal in the month of January, that the CPSC can be part of the policy making bodies of the Nepal concerning Tibet, right? Okay. Next was the public awareness campaigns. I think this we have already discussed. We need to launch the public awareness campaigns, professional competence. you see, the students should be made completely competent and not only in the certain specific area. So what makes a person is completely competent? These are the two major clusters. One is the interpersonal clusters, and second is the cognitive cluster. In the interpersonal or social cluster, we have two main things. One is the work readiness and work habits. In fact, we have seen that the young students are not that much, they're not that much serious. The commitment is really going down. So I think we need to work on this area. And then the interpersonal skills, communication, team building, team skills, customer these things. So all these things we need to inculcate. In the cognitive cluster, we have talk of this enterprise innovation creativity skills. We talk of the learning, thinking, and adaptability skills. So we need to make the students complete, wholesome, an individual by in building, by inculcating all these competencies and not only these subject matter competencies in the students. Okay. The second was raising something. So raising the quality, I was talking of the quality. We need to raise the quality. In fact, when you talk of the quality assurance, there are three different ways of assuring the quality. Sorry, yeah, quality assurance. So first is the assessment. You can improve the quality of any institution through assessment. Second is audit. Third is the accreditation. The best is the accreditation because all the national governments, they look at the accreditation as the most reliable form of quality assurance. So assessment, a brief about the assessment. Assessment in this context of quality assurance is an evaluation which results in a grade, whether numeric 1 to something 1 to 4. It could be literal like A, B, C, D something, or descriptive like good, satisfactory, unsatisfactory, etc. Assessment says how good are you how good are your outputs. Second is the audit, in which a team comes from outside and they audit you. They see your quality. So auditing is not about the quality per se. It basically says what you are saying and what you are doing are they the same basically. That is the audit. So how well are you doing what you say you are doing? The best is the accreditation. Accreditation is an establishment of the status, legitimacy, or the appropriateness of an institution or a program because we have two, the program and the institutional accreditation, right? In the APEC, we do the institutional accreditation. So the best model is go for the program accreditation at the national level and at the Asia Pacific level come to the APEC. That is the best model. So the accreditation says, are you ready? Are you good enough to be approved? Okay. So this we have discussed. So first we have the national and then we have the regional. Asia Pacific APEC is the regional level. This is the APEC website. We have got a separate website for the APEC. In fact, nowadays we are doing a lot of APEC accreditations in many countries. And I still again urge the people from the Nepal to go in for the APEC accreditation. This will definitely improve your quality, I can assure you. Then we talk of the industry collaborations. So strengthening the partnerships with industries to align the curriculum. And even when we are making the curriculum and we are making a new curricula or modifying existing curricula, we need to have the participation from the industry so that they can give their inputs, right? So there has to be a close, relationship or partnership with the employment system or the industry or the world of work, right? These are some of the case studies of the industry academia integration. I think my time is a little going out, so I am skipping some of these slides, but you can access these slides through the on course, right? This is the case study of a South Korea in which some institutions have been set up to to cater to some of the technical to cater to the industry. So there is an industry, a group of industries, a cluster of industries basically. So some TVET institutions have been set up and their output, their students are the intake of this cluster of industries basically. Similarly, we have the co-op system of Canada. In Canada, if you see their co-op system, the students when they undergo the co-op system, so if let us say a program has 8 semesters, so they have 4 semesters in the industries and 4 semesters in the colleges. It's a co-op system basically, right? The students they get the education from the college or from the university, and they get the training from the industry or from the enterprises. And then we have a lot of community colleges in USA, which are also basically trying to provide the instructions through the academia and through the industries, right? And they're very popular. In fact, there are community colleges in the Canada also. I have seen a lot of them in Canada also. So I think I'm skipping some of the slides because my time is a little. You can see all this what the community colleges are doing in USA. You can see in this in the on course. So 46% of all the post-secondary students in the US they begin at the community colleges. Almost 50% of the students after the post-secondary they go to the community colleges. They're just like TVET colleges basically, right? Where the education and training is provided, education by the academicians and training by the industry personnel, right? Okay. So I think I'm skipping some of the slides. Okay, slides. Yes, these are some of the testimonies. Not actually testimonies, but by some of the statements. Like it's like by the Bill Gates. Bill Gates says the community colleges have always been driven by what is most relevant to the employment market. So what the employment market demands, you produce the same thing basically, right? By Barack Obama, the former US president. Community colleges are a vital component of our higher education system, serving almost 50% of the undergrad students in the United States. And this is by Dr. Jill Biden. Dr. Jill Biden is the wife of the former US president, Mr. Joe Biden. And she was a teacher in one of the community colleges herself. And she doctored, she's a PhD basically. She's not a medical doctor, she's a PhD. She says, I have witnessed firsthand the power of a community college lives, and I think that they are and that the smaller class sizes, the nurturing environment, and the personal context make a difference in the sporting students. In my classes, I get to know my students with well, and I am able to partner with each of them to help them succeed. Then we talk of the teacher training and development. Even like this existing program is basically a teacher development only. This is some of the employability skills. I did a lot of research on the internet. What are the employability skills? Interpersonal skills are very, very important to get a job. Interpersonal skills, much more important than your technical skills also. The technical knowledge comes at number two. ICT skills, communication plays a very, very important role. I was talking of the Philippines people who are very well TVET, like a qualified. You can find the Filipinos in almost any part of the world because they're very good communicators. So they go to any country, they learn their language, and they're able to speak in English and the local languages, French, Spanish, Russian, Korean, Thai, absolutely fluently. So communication plays a very, very important role. Of course, language is just one part of the communication, but I'm talking of the communication as a whole. The management skills, the creativity and the innovativeness skills, the problem solving and the critical thinking skills, and the research skills also. I'm adding one from my own also, the research skills, right? Okay. Now, this is for the safe employment. We need to have the technology business incubators in the TVET institutions, where people they can come with the idea. They want to set up a business. They want to set up a small sort of a small scale or a medium scale business. They come with an idea. They get access to the money. They get the knowledge, expertise. They get access to the markets and access to the networks. So the TBIs, they basically, they are they basically incubate the businesses, right? The students, they can come, they can get the facilities, centralized facilities over there. They can spend some time over there, maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and then they have to move out basically, right? So I think all the TVET institutions must have the technology business incubators, or maybe in a specific city, you can combine. Let us say, like in one city we have, let us say, five TVET colleges. So there could be one technology business incubator for all the five TVET colleges in one city. That we can always do, right? Then student-centric branding, I was always discussing with you. Digital transformation, the rise of the digital media and online platforms for branding driven institutions such as the social media, the websites, virtual campus tours. In fact, if you go to the topmost universities, the topmost colleges, they have their virtual campus tours. There's a video on their websites. Do we have such a video on our websites? I think we need to put it over there, right? When we talk of the emerging technologies, I think we talk of the artificial intelligence, we talk of the Internet of Things, we talk of the industrial Internet of Things, IIoT, we talk of the blockchains, we talk of the extended reality. We need to impart all these inputs to our students so that they become relevant to the industry. Then we need to expand the scope of our TVET institutions. We need to be very inclusive. The people who are left out, then they can be added as a part of the TVET, system. Then having your own vision and mission. So where are we right now? Where you want to be after 5, 10 years, and how to reach over there. There should be a vision of an institution, and it should be shared vision, not the vision of a principal or the director. It should be shared vision. Shared means everybody, all the stakeholders are a part of the visioning exercise, starting from the top, from the principal or the director, the faculty, the staff, the students, the community, the industry, all of them. It should be shared vision, right? And then it leads to your mission and all those things basically, right? So where my institute is right now, where I want my institute to be after 5, 10 years, and how to reach over there. For that, we do the environmental analysis or the SWOT analysis, keeping all the stakeholders into our mind. And from there, we have our vision of the institution. From vision comes your mission, then comes your goals, and then comes your strategies and the objectives, etc. This is okay. I'm skipping some of these slides because our time is really getting out. But this is regarding a university in India where they're offering a bachelor's of mechanical engineering. It's a 4 years degree program. In the degree program, it's a 4 years degree program of engineering in mechanical engineering. So what they do is the students, they go to the university only for 2 days. And for the 4 days, they go to the industries or to the enterprises. So the industry has the university has a lot of ties with a lot of enterprises. It's industrial town basically, Baddi, and the students spend most of the time in the industry. So that is how they become, like they become employable. That is a perfect industry academia integration. Okay. In Singapore also we have this ITE, Institute Technical Education, where they are highly industry oriented. This is the ITE. They are even much better than our engineering colleges. We talk of sustainability. In sustainability, we talk of the environmental protection, social protection responsibility. We talk of green technologies, ethical training programs, etc. Inclusivity, I already discussed. We need to have, ensuring that the branding efforts embrace diversity and inclusion. Like in CPSC, we have a lot of diversity. We have people from India, from Malaysia, from Pakistan, from Philippines. Now we are getting some more people from Mongolia. We are getting people from other countries also. So, we like this diversity. That's much better, and inclusion. Community impact, promoting the institute's role. Yeah, this is also very important. What you're doing for the community. Any TVET college, what the college is doing for the surrounding community. That is also very important in making a good brand by through the community impact. Now, how to measure the impact of branding initiatives? These are the measures through which you can see the impact. One is the enrollment. If the enrollment is going up and up and up, that means the branding is making an impact, right? So you can track the growth of TVET student numbers. The second is the employment outcomes. If more and more companies are coming to your college for placements, that means your brand is making an impact. Assessing the job placements and career progression. And third is the public perception, what the people say about your institution. Okay. So evaluating the changes in the attitudes towards the TVET, right? We go to the conclusion. These are again some of the challenges in branding and image building, like limited resources. We want to do a lot of things, but maybe the resources are very limited, and that is why I'm saying go for the internal resource generation. See, none of the institution is now has a lot of resources. Even in CPSC, we have some limited resources, right? But we are trying to generate the resources through consultancy, through conduct of special training programs, customized training programs. We are trying to generate the money. So that is a via media. If the faculty is good, if the faculty is trained in the industry, they can do a lot of, consultancy for the industries, all right? Then second is misalignment with the industry. That is also one of the biggest challenge because we are in our own comfort zones. We do not want to go to the industry. Industry is not coming to us. We are not going to them. So it is a very minimal, superficial, sort of interaction. Public perception is also not very good. We have discussed. Internal resistance is also there. If you want to make a change, there will be internal resistance also from within the system because people normally tend to avoid this change. People are in their comfort zones. All the teachers that they're in the comfort zones. Anything you want to do from the top, there will be a resistance. But then the leader has to take, has to take a stand because what you're doing is for the good of the institution and not for the good of yourself, basically, right? Then competition. Okay. Some case studies, actually not exactly case studies, like, we had done a program in Thailand on branding of TVET programs through quality and image building in 2018. Similar program. In fact, in your Nepal, I think there was a sort of a campaign with skills in hands, employability is a chance. This was a TVET, public information campaign on 5th of February 2020 at Biology School of Engineering, right, by the CTVT. And we can see our member secretary also standing over there in the middle. Yeah. So I think so. I think he's Mr. Bhej, right? Okay. Then recently, the NITRR Chandigarh, the National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research, which is now a university. So they did a conclave for promoting internationalization, and I was invited over there. We had a lot of people from the different embassies also from New Delhi. So they are trying to promote this internationalization in the NITRR system. There are 4 NITRRs in the country in India. So this I'm talking about the Chandigarh, but even the remaining 3 are also trying to promote internationalization because now there's a thrust by the government of India that all the institutions, all the universities in the country, especially the technical ones, they should promote internationalization, right? So that is again a branding at the international level. So in conclusion, I think strong and effective branding and image building are just as important to TVET institutions as it is for the businesses. So not only for the businesses, even for the institutions, it's the same important. The TVET institutions must successfully promote themselves as the centers of opportunities, innovation, and career development. Okay. Steve Jobs, I'm a very big fan of Steve Jobs, by the way. He said a brand is simply a trust. See, when you see this logo of the Apple, Apple is a brand and this is just a logo. Okay. There's a trust in the Apple. You take an iPhone. I have, 2 iPhones with me, given by my daughters. So you throw the iPhone on the floor, nothing happens to the iPhone. So they said trust. They said trust, right? Okay, I think with this, I thank you, all of you.
So before I start, let me give you a glimpse of brand and image so that we should have a clear picture what really we wanted to see. When you talk brand, don't put it in a TVET. You talk about brand. let's say you're buying some shoe, Nike brand, Adidas brand. So what is the brand tells you? You are going for buying some clothing, or you want to buy iPhone. You want to buy iPhone, Apple, not Samsung brand. Or you want to buy a TV. You want to buy Panasonic. You want to buy Econ, Daikin. So so all these are brand. So what these brands really meaningful to you? So you see, when you talk about brand, that create the image. You see, when you talk about Panasonic TV or Samsung TV, so this smart TV give a good quality of picture. It is user-friendly. The pixel is very good. So these are the image of the quality of the picture. So that's why you are choose for that brand, because you want quality. So that same goes when you choose Adidas, Nike, what type of shoe, because it level lasting, is a prestigious, it have a quality. Okay, when you wear, same like the clothing, same what the Rolex watch or any smart watch or smartphone. So all these give you the quality, the prestige, the image. So that goes the same. When you talk about TVET, what is the brand you want to give for your institution? What is the organization like CTEVT? They are talking about TVET. So they are talking about TVET. That is their brand. So what is the image of CTVEVT in Nepal? What are they creating? So that is the image. The brand is CTEVT is the brand. But what is the quality? What is the image people are talking about CTVET? You knows better. So that is one example. Like your polytechnic, in your place, when you talk about Bhaktupur Polytechnic, that is the brand of your logo is the brand. But what is the image, the quality you are giving? When you go to, like you're talking about India, IIT, Institute, what is Information Institute Technology, IIT. When you grab from IIT, people wanted to grab you. When you grab from MIT in US, people wanted to take you. Oxford, all these universities are top well-known universities because that is their brand and they have a quality. People are very highly efficient, educated, they can do. The quality of the people graduate is very good. So that is the things we are looking for TVET. You need to create a brand. You need to create a image by giving a good quality for the brand. When you talk about McD, McDonald's, KFC, so these are the brands, Starbucks, the brand. You see how they deliver their product. Until today, they are competitive. So this is the image. So this is what we want to transform into TVET. What kind of knowledge you are giving, training, skill, in terms to uplift the image of TVET. So today's training and until the 4 days, we are going to look into the brand and how the brand can create the image for that particular brand through quality, delivery, and all the steps. So in order, we must understand the brand, we must understand the strategy, the challenges, all this. Same goes for the image. What is the plan? How we can make it better. So that is all overall. I make it in a very simple synopsis of today's program, what I'm going to talk. So allow me to start with my first theme paper, Introduction to Brand and Brand Concept Management. Is my lecture is very fast? Can you understand or you want me to slow down? Please give feedback.
Okay, sir.
Is it okay? I can
It is
use
okay,
this
sir.
tempo or you want me to slow down? Hello?
It is okay, sir.
Okay. Because why? I need to finish all the lecture in 1 hour, because you need to go back 4. So that is the, if there is a plus minus 4, 4, 10, is it okay for you all? 10 or 15 minutes, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. That is the spirit I want. Okay, introduction to brand and brand concept management. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you see, the girl is putting a brand into that. When you put the brand, you see how it goes. Marketing, advertisement, logo, design, brand, strategy, identity, trust, and values. So this is where the brand is very important. So you have marketing, adventure, logo, design, but your brand will speak. You need a strategy, identity, trust, value. So all these are incorporated for a brand of your institution. So we are going to talk in the context of TVET. So the definition of brand. Can you see my slide is moving? Is my
Yes,
slide
sir.
in the definition?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's
Because I need
moving.
some feedback, so that I know you are there. Okay. When you see the definition, brand, branding, brand management. So brand is a sum of a perception that are held about you, your company, or your product. This includes perception held by both external and internal audience and stakeholders. That means you should have your audience, your target. Who is your target? Maybe the community surrounding or the parents to encourage them to enroll to TVET. The stakeholders who's investing the money, funding the program, have the interest in the program, maybe the government or maybe private sectors, industrial. So you need to have the perception of your product. Then next we move to branding. Branding is the universe of activities you undertake that affects those perceptions. In order to efficiently build a positive brand perception, you must engage in a both internal and external activity to align to deliver a consistent impression of who you are. That means branding. Once you have the brand, you want the branding. Branding means you want to sell your product. How are you going to sell your product? You cannot have a brand, keep quiet. You need to sell. You need to go out, reach people, either externally or internally. Internally, maybe in your country, in your province. Externally, outside your province, outside to promote you are the best. Like what we are promoting APEC now. APEC started and we are promoting each country. What are the best branding? So the logo APEC accreditation is the best. You need accreditation in terms of quality. You want talking about quality assurance. APEC is the brand and APEC is the image. What if you get the APEC brand? What is the quality you will be having? What are the image you will be create by having APEC? So you see, APEC is a brand, and we are branding APEC in terms of quality and in quality assurance. So this is you need to know clearly. Then the next is when you have a branding, how you going to branding, how you going to promote. Next is the management, how you going to manage. That is called brand management. Brand management is a communication function in marketing that includes analysis and planning on how that brand is positioned in the market, which target public and the brand is targeted at, maintaining and desired reputation of the brand. That means how are you going to maintain through marketing? How are you going to make sure if you market, maybe it is not marketable? How are you going to improve? What are the step action? So it is more to PDCA, plan, do, check, and action. That means you have a brand, you need to plan how are you going to do marketing. Then how are you going to, once you have the plan, how are you going to implement? Then check what is the outcome. If it is good, maintain, upgrade it. If it is bad, if it is not there, you need to improve. So that is called the management. So this is what known as branding, and brand management for the first segment. Are you all with me?
Yes,
Are
sir.
you all with me?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Next is we are talking about brand. When we talk about brand, we talk about logo. We need to, I go clockwise. We need strategy. We need values. We need marketing, advertisement, identity, and the trust. So it's not just a brand. Inside the brand, You definitely a brand need a logo. What logo? Like you see CTEVT, CPSC. This is our logo. You can see our logo. This is our brand. Then what are the strategy? You have a brand. How are you going to marketable? So what the brand says? So what? So definitely every institution, they have a strategic planning. The vision, mission, goal, objective, and the strategy to achieve that. So you should have the same. Then the value. People are coming, how much they're paying for your brand, buying from you, and what is the in term of return of investment they will get. So that is the value. You need to see how much, whether it's a competitive, if people want to learn in your particular brand institute, how much you're going to offer them, how much they need to pay, whether it is equivalent to the global market or you are charging more. So if you're charging more, no one will buy your brand. So you must also see the value, competition, which is cheap and best, but also to the certain value with the quality you are delivering. You see, like, do you have KFC and McDonald's in Nepal? Hello?
Yes, of course, sir.
What do you have? Do you have the both KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and McDonald's in Nepal? Or only one? Which one you have? Or
I
any
don't know about
Starbucks? You have
McDonald's, but
anything that
KFC.
Starbucks? Okay. Let's say Starbucks, they maintain the value, the pricing. Even they increase, people still going to Starbucks. They are not declining because they don't mind paying more because they want the quality. So this is the value. So you must always understand. You want a good product, you need to invest, and you want to get more expensive, but the quality should be very good, impressing, and satisfy everyone. So that is very good. Then marketing. How are you going to do the marketing? So the brand also have a strategy on marketing. Advertisement. How are you going to advertise? In the social media, in your news, or in your community, brochures, pamphlet, anything you're going to, how you going to do the advertisement? That is another way of important. So what is your identity? The brand identity carries what? So let's say you're talking about CTEVT. The identity is more to TVET, caring for TVET. TVET, nobody left behind TVET for the youths. So it should carry some identity and the trust. We should have the trust because CTEVT is the trust, the future of Nepal, Tibet, which is going to uphold. So these are the things all are incorporated in the brand. So it is not only the brand. You see too many things. There is around 7 factors inside this brand, which you need to focus, you need to look into it, and you need to plan properly. Okay? Always remember PDCA. Every strategy, you need to have PDCA in order to perform well. Okay. Allow me to move to the next slide. So next, we go for brand identity. So what is brand and identity? So brand is business name. The identity is the logo. Messaging. The brand is messaging. The identity is color palette. Mission and values. So the identity, the font must be put clearly. Okay. So location. Where is your website of your identity? Perception, marketing collateral. Reputation, your graphics. Visual identity, your photography. So this is your brand. But when you go for the identity, how you want to show clearly of your brand. So the brand is on the surface, but how are you going to show to people clearly? That is called identity. So you, like for example, location. You cannot say just come to this site. This is our brand. You must give it in the website, the exact location, how they can reach you. So these are the things we need to see. So the brand and identity go together like bread and butter. Next is the brand image. We are talking about image. we are talking about emotion, the trust, the loyalty, confidence, impression, value, belief, and the reputation. So all in the brand image, we have emotion. We want to promote our brand. We have a trust in our brand. Definitely you need to trust. Your brand is the best. Loyalty, what you going to get from the brand, the return of investment. You're confident of giving your brand. Impression, what is the people's impression on your brand? Okay, the value for the money they spend, whether it is value added. The belief in your brand, they should have a trust. Right? People are believe in McDonald's, people are believe in Starbucks, people are believe in Jollibee in Philippines, people are believe in BMW, people are believe in Japanese car, and the reputation also. How they the service they give after they're getting that. What is the outcome? How they let's say if I'm bringing BMW, I'm bringing Toyota car. How I feel? How's the reputation? It's good. It is cheaper. Its consumption is very good. It is long lasting. So these are the reputation. So all these are creating the image for the brand. If you only putting a brand, you are not looking into all these aspects, the brand won't be staying along. It will collapse. So you need to look not only the brand, you need to see the image in the these 8 factors in order to make sure the brand stands forever. So this is called brand image. Any question so far? Any question? Any question, please? Hello?
No questions, sir.
Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So shall I continue? I continue the next slide.
Yes.
Okay, the next is brand identity versus brand image. So when you talk about brand identity, you talk about, let me go through clockwise. Language tone, tagline, logo, and aesthetic style. When you talk about brand image, emotion, reputation, impression, and belief. You see, it is similarity with just now. When I talked just now, so I just break into in a different mode. This is almost the similar. I just break into different mode to show you the identity versus the image. So you see, these are the out of the 8, I took 4. And for emotion, you should have a language tone. For reputation, the style. The logo, the impression. The tagline is the belief. So this is how we are merging together like a bread and butter when you talk brand identity versus brand image. So it should be work together. Actually, there is a team, marketing team for building. That's a professional team to work on this. If you want to promote some brand and image, you should engage a consultant. And you should engage, like after attending this course, you can try on your own and engage some consultation to create a good brand and image. Because without a proper knowledge, you can't do. Then it will be failure. We cannot think only one angle. That is a various angle. We need to think out of the box to create this brand and image. Branding process. What are the branding process? So you identify the brand image. The company. Identify the company. We go clockwise. Company. Identify your brand identity. What you're going to give. Look, who is your customer? Who is your client? Then what are the image this brand going to give? So these are the 4 major, the primary process in branding. First, your company or your organization, your institute. What identity brand you want to create? Who is your customer? Then from there, maybe you can see who is your customer, what you want to give, what you want to offer. Then from there, what image you're going to give. So image means If they come to your institute, organization, they study. So what is when they go out, what are the image they will get? Like, I'm studying from MIT, I'm studying for IIT India. So that is the image, you see, the image. People know when you graduate from there, you are well versed in all the field. You're talking about IT sector. So you must be coming from a good college from IT. When you're talking, or you're talking about one top university in Nepal. What is the top university for engineering in Nepal? Can anyone tell me? Top university in engineering in Nepal.
Pulchok Engineering College, sir.
What, sir? Can you repeat again?
Pulchok Engineering College.
Okay, Pulso Engineering College. If any graduate from there, so that is the image of that engineering college. Definitely people will know what is their standard, what is their quality. So the same organization go to you. So you can be merged together. You can be merged together, not to say one. You can merge. Maybe you are in a very rural area. You all can merge under one polytechnic. Polytechnic for Nepal, branding for polytechnic. Maybe you have a college community. Maybe you got other technical institute. You group together, brainstorm, and make sure everybody give this to your client. So you can do that. CTEVT can play a role coordinating this, my point of view. Branding connectivity. Are you all can see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, branding connectivity, you see, your brand and strategy action, your brand image, how people feel about your brand. This is very important. You have your brand and strategy with your action. Then you merge with how people feel about your brand. So this is where you integrate it and your brand image will speak. So you have your brand strategy, action, marketing. Then you see how people accept this. What is the people feedback, the community who are using your brand? And you see what is their feedback. Your brand is speaking or your brand is not good? If your brand is good, they will be talking, they will be promoting. More people will come. If your brand is quality not good, they won't be promoting, only once for all. Only one off. So this is how you want to check and balance your branding, your connectivity. If it is not speaking louder, something wrong, you need to take action by looking at the process. Something is lacking. So this is how we need to connect each other. If no, we cannot say our brand is the best. That should be a third-party verification. Somebody must tell you are the best. And people must talk. People should promote. When you go for wedding, you go for any big functions, people talk about your college. People talk about TVET of Nepal. They are producing this, they are good. Highlighting in the TV, highlighting in social media. Then you are there. Your brand speaks. So that is very important of branding. Next, I go for brand management. Brand management is marketing technique to increase the perceived value of a product, line, or brand over time. So this is how brand management, this word is a Latin word, Latin word, brand management. So let's say Coca-Cola, how they going to increase the value, the product, how they going to marketing. So you need to do a management. How this product I'm going to be marketable and I have a return of investment. I invest on this money, I can sell this product, market, more people will come. When you talk about TVET, we talk about the enrollment, okay, of our student, the interest, or maybe from TVET, we have created some innovation, some brand, we give the name for the innovation, and that branding, we are selling the product to solve the people's problem, what they issued. Let's say there is a pollution, air pollution. So you create some equipment to reduce the air pollution. Then you give one brand name for the product and that product works. So that is how you're going to commercialize. You're going to sell using the name, the brand to solve the people's problem. So that is also, you should have a brand management. How are you going to sell this, convince, do the testing, say that is very good, and people trust in your product and they want to buy, and that brand speaks. Even though there is another competitor brand, same function, but your brand very effective compared to other brand. So this is how, like you go to outside, there is a lot of competitors selling the same product, but the quality different. The quality speaks. So this is how people refer. Different people, different what they want. But in education, they want a quality. But in come to buying things, they want a cheap and best. But come to education, they want a quality. So let us deliver a quality education in Nepal. So what is brand management? Brand management is a concept which deals strategic evaluating brand in terms of brand positioning, target customer, brand position, and brand image. For brand management, the company should maintain good image among the customers. The main objective of brand management to ensure the product and service highlight the quality of a brand. So this is what I don't want to elaborate. You can read. The importance of brand management. Brand management is a concept adopted by companies and marketers to create an emotional connect between customer and their product. You see the relationship, customer and the product. Through brand management, an image of the product or brand is created in the mind of consumer. That means when the customer already connected, when you say the product, they have in their mind, they know how this product works. So that is how the telepathy works. This becomes the foundation of not only acquiring new customer, but also increasing brand loyalty. Brand management is important for any business. Help companies evaluate performance of a brand and help them to improve. So also help the company to improve on this, on the product. So this is what the importance of brand management. You can read further. I don't want to go detail. So the advantage of brand management is it creates an emotional connect between customer and product, the relationship. Emotionally, you see this brand, you like this brand, you want to buy. If you don't have this brand, you don't buy other brand because you have the trust, you love this brand. You see, that is why the emotional connection. Effective brand, number 2, effective brand management helps the business grow as consumer become loyal and educate for the product and service. Customer loyalty further helps boost business. So this is another, they're loyal to the product. Number 3, taking critical and important feedback help companies improve based on customers' insight. We should able to get the feedback of our brand for improvement, for continuous improvement, betterment. We cannot say all the time we are the best. Maybe their improvement can be done. Our competitor will do better, then we will lose the market. So we need to all the time take feedback, improve. We cannot do one time, we leave it. Every 6 months or 3 months, you need to look into it if you wanted to be competitive in the marketing world, in the business world. Business world through marketing. Number 4, brand management help companies adapt their strategies with changing time based on the needs and requirement of the customer. So we need to see when the customer need to change, or maybe the TVET is now going to AI. So we need to bring AI into our curriculum. We need to invest some money. The government must serious. TVET must tell the government these are the actually the era now. We need some money to be the pioneer to few colleges we're going to groom. These are the courses we're going to run. These are the brand we want to create. So this is the planning we need and implement it. And if it is successful, that's to attract people to enroll. If no, you are only with the old school, then you are not in the market. Your brand is not marketable. You need to go. So in your TVET syllabus, you need to go with the current syllabus technology. Everyone is now talking AI. If you don't bring AI, integrate AI, you will be lose the market. So in TVET, I'm talking about in prospect of TVET. So you need to bring AI, the green, sustainability, all this into the curriculum. Now, you cannot only focus on the main. You need to integrate with AI. It is already in that era now. So that your brand need to speak. Your brand need to know. In your brand, you need to adapt this if you talk about a TVET conceptual. Tools like brand development index, BDI, brand development index helps brand grow and fight competition. You see? Then we can create brand development index, BDI. Create an index, how you can measure your index that you are competitive, you are still in the business to fight your competitors. So there should be some BDI. Like if you wanted to journal, if you wanted to have a journal, good journal, publish in a good journal, maybe Q1, Q2. So that is the brand. So that is the same when you talk about BDI. You should have a very good BDI in order, if the BDI is high, that means your brand is competitive. Brand management. Next, we're talking about brand management. Okay, in the brand management, we are talking about company name, okay, the logo, strong impression, reputation, value, price, product benefit, customer service. Always remember, customer service is very important in a brand. If you don't give customer service, that means after they come your place, after they graduate, or they have any problem, how are you going to tackle? How are you going to solve? How are you going to advise? That is customer service. If your customer service is not good, people won't be coming. They say no point. Like buying an insurance. Buying an insurance, any brand, we have a Great Eastern, we have Prudential, we have AIA. So if insurance only speaks when anything happen, but when anything happen, when the insurance agent will not did not give a good customer service, people won't be promoting that insurance to other people. So your customer service, like you are having a restaurant. What is the famous restaurant in Nepal? Can anybody tell me? Your local brand restaurant. Anybody can tell me your local brand restaurant?
CG Chaudhary Group, sir.
Okay, right, good. I need the same person only talking. I don't know about others. I was in Nepal. I was in Nepal last year. Okay, I was in Nepal and I stayed in Kathmandu. I stayed in Yellow Pagoda Hotel. You all know Yellow Pagoda Hotel? Yellow Pagoda Hotel. Anybody knows Yellow Pagoda Hotel?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I saw their food. I daily I take my breakfast there. Sometimes I take my dinner there. So they maintaining. So when you operate a restaurant or anything, 3 things you should have. So Yellow Pagoda Hotel is the brand. So 3 things they maintain is cleanliness, the service, customer service, and also the quality of the food. The food, the service, and the cleanliness. So these are the 3 things very important for a restaurant. Any restaurant. You're talking about international restaurant or local restaurant, any food and beverages, these 3 things. Cleanliness, quality of the food, always the same taste, consistent, and also customer service. How you do your service to the customer. Take orders, deliver, talk politely. So this is very important. Okay. So these are the brand management. You should look into it for your own brand. Next, you talk about brand management elements. Okay. You talk about elements. Okay. Brand royalty. What royalty you going to get? Okay. Let's say you finish 3 years diploma in this particular TVET institution. If you enroll for next batch or any professional courses we are offering, you can get some discount from our institute. So that is the loyalty you are getting. Or if you promote us to more people coming in, so we will give you some loyalty in terms of some cash flow or some other perks if they can afford. So loyalty you are getting. Brand reputation, you're talking about what brand? The brand of the TVET institution. Brand recognized, people recognize or not that brand. Brand equity, whether it is compared to others, this brand is equal or not compared to other institute or other branding in a public or private. Brand awareness. So we need to know what are the awareness we should have in our brand, the do and don'ts. So these are the things we need to see in the brand. It is not only the brand, but it is also the management, loyalty, reputation, recognition, equity, and awareness. But we cannot see all together one shot. But you know, these are the area we need to look into it. Do it one by one. Any question so far? Any question?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, brand management process. So there is a process. Everything start with I define and establish brand positioning and values. Second, plan and implement brand marketing programs. Third, measure and interpret brand performance. Fourth, grow and sustain brand. Excuse me. Okay. So when you see, identify, it is something like plan, do, check, and action and monitor. So you need to identify. The first step, you need to identify and establish your brand first and positioning the value. Second is you need to plan. How are you going to marketing? Where you want to, who's your audience? Where you want to bring. Third is after you implement, you measure, see the performance. Then see whether it can grow and it can be sustained with brand equity. We can generate more with that income. So this is not you do today, tomorrow you can see. It will take some process, maybe some years to achieve the fourth. Maybe you do today, you identify after 6 months or 1 year, you do this planning first, you implement. After implement 6 months, you measure, or after 3 months, you measure 6 months, always give 1 year, then you see how you want to grow. So the process takes from the day you implement, will take at least after 1 year, you can make a measurement. After 1 year, give 1 to 3 years to see the growth. Then only you can make a judgment. Don't just do today, after 6 months, say nothing, close up. No, you should be a longer period. That should be a Gantt chart. You remember, the Rome is not built in 1 day. Same like everything will take some place, some time. It cannot be very fast. So the brand management process, identify positioning values. The first step, management. This is in detail. I'm giving this. Just now I show you the diagram. This is in detail. Those who want to read. The first step in the brand management process is to understand the product and the service offering in terms of positioning the brand value it offers to the customers. This is the foundation of companies as how they want the customers to perceive their product or service in the part of brand development. Second is the marketing. Brand building is the next step in the brand management of a product service. This product includes creation of a brand by creating components like pricing, packaging, customer service, and etc. Also, brand awareness technique while marketing branding, and also understand, introduce, integrate marketing communication. So whatever we are discussing today, you will be using in the workshop, hands-on. So take some notes and keep. Today more to theory, tomorrow the practical section will start. Measuring the process performance, it is not simply important to create brand, but also measure its performance, competitor, other market dynamics. So we need to measure the performance. We cannot, without measuring, we cannot say our brand is good. We need to measure, we need to see who's our competitor, how to improve, what to take action. So all these are important. And the last is the growth and sustainability. The final step is the brand management process. Post-evaluation is to improve the brand performance to ensure the growth and the sustainability. We need, once we achieve, we want to see whether it's growing, sustained, and if it is growing and sustained, that is a positive sign. If it is no, then we need to take some step. Brand equity is the measure of the quality offered by the product and service. So if it is grow and sustain, that means the brand equity is positive. That means it is to the our expectation or the organization expectation. So that is very important. So we need to do all this. It's not only promoting the brand. A lot of things are underlined under this brand, which we need to put effort if you really want your brand to be well known. Next is I'm going to the brand concept management, BCM. Before that, any questions? Any questions?
No questions, sir.
Okay. Brand concept management is the planning process of creating, sustaining, and updating a brand fundamental idea so that it will remain consistent and relevant in the marketplace. So this BCM, or they call it brand, some terminology also use BIS, brand improvement system, or brand concept management is almost the same. It's a planning of process, creating, sustaining, updating the fundamental. The brand concept management is almost same like the brand management. Okay, BCM is a process cultivating and nurturing the central idea of a brand. So you should have a concept of definition of your brand. For example, you should have a concept of implementation, reinformation, and evolution. It is also the concept which you need plan, do, check, action. You should have a plan, the definition. You should have an implementation. You should have an enforcement campaign. Make sure how you want to make sure it is still ongoing. It is not after promote, it will go down. It should be maintained. Almost all the time should be promoting enforcement from time to time. And concept evaluation, adapting the brand, change with the market values. That means, let's say IT, the IT is changing every 3 months once. So we need to change, like the iPhones, they're changing. Like the other things are changing. So we cannot use this brand for next 2-3 years without changing. We need to evaluate every 6 months, whether we need to add something to the brand, something we need to bring with the latest technology. So this is where we're talking about concept of evolution, adapting the brand to change market trends without losing its essence. The core is there, but we just adapt a little bit to make it better based on the current requirement. Like you see, the WhatsApp is changing. Every time we are changing message with new icons, new things, or maybe the iOS, the operating, now is 18.3.1 iPhone. They are changing. So new gadgets, new tools are being implemented, but they are maintaining the original core essence. Key element of brand concept: brand identity, brand positioning, brand equity, brand communication, and brand loyalty. So you see, brand communication also is very important. The channel method used to convey brand messaging. How are you going to promote? Advertisement, publicity. This is also included. So these are the key elements in the brand concept management. Brand identity, brand positioning. Brand identity is visualized. We want to see the logos, color, taglines. You see, some brands only got 3 colors. They not simply put the 3 colors. All these got meaning why they put 3 colors. And they use only that 3 particular colors. All these are meaning. If you go, you can look into it. Then brand positioning, the strategy placement of a brand. Okay, where you want to put your brand, people to look into it, to fix in their mind. Equity, recognition, communication, loyalty. Okay, to choose your brand. So this is very important. Key elements of BCM: core brand concept. For example, if you talk about Nike or Nike, empowerment through sport. So you see, that is their tagline. When you talk about Apple, people will see their concept is innovation and simplicity. Uniqlo, this is for Asia Pacific region. A lifewear adaptable for quality. Uniqlo. So you see, this is the brand and this is their concept. So this is for example. Concept of consistency, ensuring all touch point, advertising, packaging, customer service, reinforcement, and core concept. Example, Singapore Airlines consistently emphasizes leisure service across cabins, ads, and the crew training. You see, this is we call concept of consistency. So for example, in Singapore Airlines, their tagline is luxury service. So this core brand concept, all these brand, these are the concept. So these are the two examples. When you go for concept of adaptation, involving the brand concept to stay relevant without losing its essence. Example, Coca-Cola in Asia, shift from Asian American classic to local celebration. Example, Thai New Year campaign. So Coca-Cola in Asia, Coca-Cola started in US. So from American classic to local celebration to cater the Asia market. So this is how the brand, they shift the concept, they adapt the concept. So this is what we should also have in the BCM, key elements. Key factor of BCM in Asia Pacific. The Asia Pacific region is highly diverse. APAC is the Asia Pacific region. Requiring brand to adopt localized strategy. Key factor influencing branding in APAC include cultural sensitivity. You see, Nepal culture, India culture, Pakistan culture is different. Or maybe Nepal and Philippines, the culture is different, totally different. Maybe in SAARC country, Nepal, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, almost similarity is there. But when you come to Philippines, Malaysia, ASEAN will be different. So this is very important. Hold on. Yeah, because I need to charge my battery. Okay, sorry. Digital adaptation. High internet penetration makes digital branding crucial. So we need digital adaptation, the internet, connectivity. Rising middle class, increased purchasing power through the premium brands. So we need to put our brand comfortable where people can buy our brand. We cannot put very high based on your factor in Asia Pacific. Competition, local and global brand compete fairly for the market share. So the competition is there. So you need to have a win-win situation to cater the local and global markets itself. Successful branding in APAC, Asia Pacific, like for example, Samsung, South Korea. Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like Samsung brand in South Korea. It is for innovation and premium positioning. So the concept is cutting the edge technology, premium quality. Strategy, Samsung position itself a leader in innovation through high-end smartphone, Galaxy series, TVs, and home appliance. Local adaptation in India, Samsung offer budget-friendly smartphones alongside premium model to cater to diverse consumer segment. You see, they have a concept, they have a strategy, and also Samsung adapt to the Indian market to budget-friendly smartphones along premium to cater. So this is where we see we are talking about concept of adaptation. You can bring your brand to other place, but adapt to the situation. You can offer a different way. So this is one way of Samsung. Another one is Uniqlo, Japan. Minimalism and functional fashion. Uniqlo is more to fashion, the clothing, clothing. Brand concept is lifewear, simple, high quality and affordable clothing. Strategy, Uniqlo maintains a minimalist brand image while emphasizing functionality like heat tech fabrics. Local adaptation in China, Uniqlo collaborates with local designer and celebrates to the enhanced appeal. So from Japan, how it can penetrate China market. So they do some adaptation. So this is how we can bring ours to our neighbor country or to internet global by adaptation. Maybe from Nepal, we can bring to Bhutan. So how we can adapt in Bhutan? Because Nepal and Bhutan always nearby. For example, another brand is Alibaba, China, e-commerce and ecosystem branding. Brand concept, one-stop digital ecosystem for commerce, finance and logistics. Strategy, beyond e-commerce, Taobao, Tmall, Alibaba integrates payment, Alipay, cloud computing, AliCloud, and entertainment. You see, this is the strategy. How Alibaba China, they do e-commerce and ecosystem branding. Local adaptation in Southeast Asia, Alibaba invests in Lazada to strengthen its regional presence. So you see, in Southeast Asia, there is no Alibaba. We use Lazada, or someplace they use Shopee. So this Shopee and Lazada is a competitor. So Alibaba invests in Lazada. And also now we have Amazon. So this is how the brand plays if you want to survive. So you see how Alibaba penetrate Southeast Asia through concept of adaptation via local adaptation. And the lastly is the Grab, Singapore. Super apps convenient. So brand concept, everyday, everything, apps, ride hailing, food delivery, payment, and more. Strategy, Grab dominates Southeast Asia by offering localized service, motorized taxi in Indonesia, local adaptation, partners with local merchants and the government to enhance accessibility. I think Grab is global. Everywhere you can get Grab. Grab food, they have ventured. So this is how the Grab adopt to make the strategy, the concept, and the local their way. So we have seen what is brand, what is the brand image, brand identity. We have seen the brand concept management. We have seen everything, the elements, all the factor process. Now let's see the challenges. Despite success, brand in Asia Pacific face challenges. Cultural diversity. A one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work. McDonald's offers rice meal in Asia, but not in the West. So that is the challenges. In West, you don't have rice, but in Asia, people eat rice. So they adapt to the situation according to the cultural diversity. Counter-fitting. Fake product harm brand equity common in China and Southeast Asia. That is a challenge. Sometimes you buy the product, the quality is not good. You say this is made from China. Regulatory hurdles. Different countries have varying advertisement product law. We need to suit to the law of the country. Digital competition, rising local brand. Okay. So IT is changing, digitalized changing. So these are the challenges you will face in your brand if you go in a big scale. Future trends. You're talking about below are the few trends can be considered near future. Sustainable branding. Consumer refer to eco-friendly branding. Like example, BYD electric vehicle in China. Okay. Can anybody tell me what is BYD stands for? What is BYD stands for? Can anyone tell me what is BYD stands for?
Build your dreams.
Pardon?
Build your dreams.
Build your dreams. Okay. Build your dream. This is a China model. It is fully electrical vehicle, EV vehicle. It is now in Singapore. It's like a hot cake. People are buying BYD. Even in Malaysia, we have BYD. So it is currently sustainable branding. AI and personalization. Brand use AI for customized marketing. Okay, like in Cocoa Talk AI in South Korea. Influencer and social commerce, live stream shopping domains in India, in China, Alibaba Taobao Live, regional expansion, brand like Shopee in Singapore, expand across Southeast Asia. So these are the future trends on the brand in terms of consumer. We are going to focus in TVET, and through innovation also we can bring consumer product via TVET. So by looking at this, what do you think? Can you imagine what brand is this? Can anyone tell me what is this brand? Okay, we have Facebook, we have Twitter last time. What are these brands? The first one.
Interest.
First one is Pi
Okay.
interest.
What about this? Second one. Third one. Fourth one. And this one is Instagram.
Snapchat.
Okay. So these are the brands. When you see the brand, you can know what is their tools, what they offer. So this is how they play. Yeah, the future brands. Like you talked about CPSC. When you talk about CPSC, we are more focusing on the green TVET movement. We are talking about green campus, green technology, green research, green community, and green culture. So CPSC give the brand of green. We want to be green. So that is the concept. Live a green lifestyle in a low carbon world. So one of the main CPSC branding TVET. So the conclusion, key takeaway point are, a strong brand concept differentiates a company in a competitive market. Localization is crucial in Asia Pacific due to cultural and economic diversity. Digital transformation and sustainability will shape future branding trends. So these are the main concept I would like to say about brand. Okay. But I have introduced what is brand, what is image, what is BCM, brand concept management. And in the previous lecture, special lecture, Prof. Dhameja also have said clearly what is brand, image, how we can go about it. So with this, as a leader, we should motivate, we should be responsibility, we should have a skill, we should be competence, and we should have a vision to create our own brand and moving further. These are my references. All these, there is a team paper you can read, will be uploaded by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. This presentation is already uploaded. You can download through the on-course and get my presentation slide. So word of appreciation. Thank you. Any question? I open.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
So, as you have already talked about this, like in this growing world of science and technology, like inventing AI-based curriculum, and you just talk about Green TVET movement by CPSC. This is mandatory, but like in the terms of, in the perspective of this technical and vocational education and training, TVET Institute Council, what do you think, like, how can we better align its program with this dynamic market demand to enhance as well as to sustain the reputation and the relevance to achieve that we desired brand? What do you think, sir?
Okay, very good question, Mr. Niraj. You see, no point talking, but we are not putting the real serious implement on that. You should have the ecosystem. The ecosystem means, what I mean is, if you're talking about 21st century skill, you should have the infrastructure, and also info culture. What do you mean by infrastructure? The buildings, you should have all the new buildings, new labs and everything. Infrastructure is in the building. What the equipment? Do you have the internet connectivity? Do you have the servers? You have all this equipment to make sure that you build a house, but did you equip with all the furnitures, all the necessary things for the house? That is infrastructure. And to change the mindset of people, how to use, how to make use, how to get benefit, the culture, the info culture, we need to train these people. So these three things are called ecosystem in the 21st century skill. So when you talk about branding, you want to bring the AI, you want to bring all this, what I've said about the green and all this. So we need to create the ecosystem. We cannot be in the old paradigm talking about the new things. You are talking like a old ambassador car, you want to change it to Rolls-Royce, or you want to change it to Hyundai. You need to do the modification, the better system, in order the ambassador change to Hyundai or Rolls-Royce to perform what we want. But we want something new, but we are still in the old, and we are telling we cannot go because of a lot of constraint. So it is a holistic approach. We need to sit together, really put effort, what we want, the curricula we want to change, and where are we heading. It is a big task. It is not only one. You can do a small branding for your institution, but if you want to see the bigger picture, everybody have to sit together and come out with a proper study what really we wanted. That is the brand which you really will bring your country in the next level or promote to be marketable. One more thing, please look into RPL, the recognition of prior learning. What you really need for your country. That is important. There is a good paper by Madam Usha Bandari, Dr. Usha Bandari wrote about RPL for Nepal. That will be your reference. Am I answered your question, Mr. Niraj?
So yeah, of course. But I would like to particularly focus. You talk about this RPL. It would be more effective if you talk about especially for remote areas. Like is there any typical successful studies or else any successful case studies that you can share?
I think you can look at your local people. Dr. Usha Bandari have done this, and you can contact her. She is working with a Swiss contact, and you can catch hold of her. Because when I was in Nepal last year, we had an international conference, a national conference. She was one of my speaker and resource person, and she delivered a very good point on that. You can contact CTVT people, maybe Mr. Nalaram or Mr. Shishir. They have her contact. You all can engage her and talk how we can go about it.
Actually, we have already been starting this RPL from last maybe 6 months. We have been certifying some people from remote areas as well.
So RPL is another branding for your institution. You can brand RPL with a various strategy and bring RPL as one of your branding for TVET. Because there is a challenge when people are, your youths, most of your youths are migrating outside for work. When they come back, there is no ecosystem for them to contribute with the knowledge they have. So they are disappointed. They go back to different country again because there is no platform. So we need to create a platform for them to work with their expertise. So that is RPL will play a bigger picture to cater this problem. In also socio-economy for your country.
So one more last question, sir. So you have talked about this brand management. There was one word, brand equity. So if it is the word talking about measuring the degree of brand, so is there any qualitative or any quantitative methods or any framework to define this? How it can be achieved?
Yeah, because this is through statistic, your sales and everything, you need to capture. You see, before I'm talking that, I'm talking about brand measurement. So you need to measurement your performance. You have a statistics. There is a lot of stuff, software available to do this, to calculate and to see the equity, whether it is sustained, how is the forecast for the next few years will be. But this is a bigger picture. You're talking about a global market. But when you talk about the smaller market for TVET, we can start small, but not to that level yet. This is, you talk about Alibaba business, you talk about McDonald's, KFC or other brands business. But this is the way forward. I'm talking in a bigger picture. But for our TVET institution, we can start small. We are not going to that level. But once we are growing, then we can think about the equity as well. So we have seen what is a branding, what is a brand concept. Now we are going to the second team paper, understanding branding in the TVET concept. We want to know the branding in the TVET. Previously, we saw globally. Now I'm focusing into the TVET. Bring the brand into TVET. Okay, can you all see that? Then is my slide is moving to the branding. Second slide. Diana?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you talk about branding in TVET, we want to know the logo. We want to know the customer, the publicity, advertisement. We want to know the economy, the market concept, the media, image management, marketing, promotion, tagline, everything. So this is what all branding about. So we need to look into this, but we don't need to go very detailed, but it depends on what kind of product you want to do marketing. But this is the overall picture, but it depends on what product you're going to market. You can use that for your tools. Then the definition of marketing. A robust TVET brand is capable of closing skill gaps, facilitating employment prospect, and boosting economic growth. Like you say about brand, we need to design, we need to manage who is our customer, what are the sales forecast, what are the product quality, what are the marketing campaign, corporate identity, and analyze. You see, analyze is the measurement. From here, we want to see the brand equity. So we first have to design, we need to manage what is our management of the brand, the PDCA, who is our customer, how they can support our brand, what is the sales forecast. That means like you are offering TVET institution, the brand, you want to offering the program, what is your forecast of the program? Per semester, what is your target, or per year? The quality of your program, of your product. What is the campaign marketing? What is the corporate identity? What is the identity of your brand? And you need to analyze. So all these need to be incorporated in a brand. If you want to do, either can be a promotion of your program, TVET program, or TVET brand through innovation, or anything related to TVET concept. But this is generally, but I'm narrowing to TVET. So importance of branding in TVET, enhancing perception and attractiveness. You see, people are telling they are not interested. They feel TVET is a second class. Many countries in Asia Pacific struggle with perception that TVET is inferior to academic education. Effective brand can shape public perception by showcasing success stories, industry partnership, and career. So they are telling TVET is for failures. TVET is no. But COVID have given us a good impact. We need skill during COVID to make sure our survival. So we can promote the pre and post pandemic to sell our TVET, to brand. Bring some success story. Those who have studied TVET now are successful, our alumni, which is known as a living icon. We can promote them. So they will speak. The success always speaks louder. So we need to identify, bring these, promote them, and use them as our brand for marketing purpose. Industry collaboration and employability. A strong TVET brand attracts industry collaboration, ensuring curricula remain relevant to the market needs and increasing employment rates for graduates. That means the strong brand through industry collaboration. We cannot work silo. We need to work together. Industry and institute industry linkages, IIL, institute industries partnership, IIP, should work together. We cannot, because industry is our stakeholders. Through them, we can know what we really need, the demand and supply for the workforce. We need that. And from there, we can create a brand for our institute, what we need, where we want to focus, based on the resource available, based on your niche area, what is you are good at maybe you are in the rural, maybe you are in the urban, what suits you to attract people, your customer. And the curricula need to be relevant. We need to revisit the curricula, redo the curricula. We cannot use the old curricula to do the new item. As what I say, we cannot use ambassador car to compete like a Japanese car or to compete like a Hyundai car. We need to modify it. We need to rebrand it to make it, to bring that brand. So this is where we need to study. So we really must be very serious when you talk about TVET, branding, image. If you are just talk on the paper, you are not doing, you are wasting your time. If you're really talking with the money you have, with the strategic, with the manpower, do something. Start small, end up big. Start small, end up big. But make sure the starting point is there. No talking, attending training, but you're not doing anything. Our director, sir, clearly said, whatever you listen, write it down, implement it, then you know the effective of the training. So please take note, and after this, form the team or something, make it happen. So this mandate, CTVT should take it and make it happen for Nepal. That is our expectation. You need anything from CPSC, we are ready to cater after this to assist you all in whatever our means. Regional competitiveness, countries that have invest in TVET branding can position themselves as a skill hubs, attracting students, investments, and partnership regional and globally. You see, the regional competitor, we need to know who is our competitor, what they are doing. We cannot only see in Nepal. We also must see outside Nepal, what India doing, what Pakistan doing, what Sri Lanka doing, the neighbor country, Bangladesh, what Bhutan doing, and what others far from there, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Philippines. These are the countries you need to see. Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Germany, they are very high. The European countries, they are different. So we need to compete among our regional base, Asia Pacific region. CPSC member countries, 16 countries, compare first. And you know where you stand and what you need to improve before you go for global market beyond Asia Pacific. So this is the importance of branding, through branding. So Nepal should have one branding. It is only have in Nepal, but it should be a collective brand, what you want to give. Like you see, when you talk about Indian brand, for example, they talk about they send satellite to the moon. They are what they call their satellite. So that is their brand. So we should have a brand. We are talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a brand. They're going to bring a trademark, digital currency exchange. So you see, these are the things we need to look what Nepal really need in TVET sector. So importance of branding, what is technical and vocational training and why it is important. First, we can say lifelong learning, like our director, sir, of CPSC said, community college. Everyone can go and study. In US, they have done that. Malaysia had adopted, for example, we have 110 community college in Malaysia. Every political parliament seat, we have a community college where you can enroll and read. It's a 2 years program. Those who are not doing very well with the minimum requirement, they can enroll for their certification course. For certificate, then they can work. It's a ready-made. And they also have like a professional courses. And those who wanted to learn skill, like you want to do carpenter, you want to have a carpenter, you can engage yourself for 2 or 3 weeks course on Saturday, Sunday with a minimal cost for your food. The program is free, then you'll get a certificate, but not a competent certificate that you attended a carpenter course. You have the skill. But if you really want to go for skill, you need to go further up for the certification. So these are the things Malaysia have taken step. You want to do plumbing, you want to cut hair, become a hairdresser. Also, they're giving course for sewing, for bakery, pastry. All these are small for daily living. They are creating this kind of life learning courses, for example. Sustainable practices. That means it's ongoing. Global competence. We want to see the global competences. Okay. Then we are looking at alignment with the industry needs. What are the needs of the industry? Okay. Inclusivity in education. That means no one is left behind. Whether it's a man, male, female, even LGBT, even OQU, special people. So everyone can take TVET. Nobody, no selectivity in the gender. And economic empowerment, because through TVET, through the skill, you can generate your income, and that income will also generate the economy empowerment. The economy will grow through the service you are contributing through TVET. People are buying, you are giving, you are also enhancing the economy, socio-economy. So these are the areas we need to see the importance of branding in TVET. What we really want to brand, and these are the 6 factors we need to look into it. The key strategy for TVET branding. Okay, first, policy support and national branding initiative. You cannot sit in one area, rural area. Mr. Niraj, you cannot sit in one rural area, for example. If I'm not mistaken, you are in one of the rural area, Polytechnic. Am I right? Is Mr. Niraj there?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you in one of the rural area, Polytechnic director?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you cannot sit there and you wanted to come out with one brand. So it should be, you see how it works. Key strategy of TVET branding, policy support and national branding initiative. For example, Singapore Skill Future Initiative. Singapore has successfully branded its TVET system through Skill Future, promoting lifelong learning, uplifting opportunities that are industry-driven and future-focused. Another example is Australia TAFE model. Australia Technical and Further Education, known as TAFE system, is well branded as a pathway to high quality vocational training, attracting both domestic and international students. So they have come out a policy and national branding initiative. They have taken this. So Nepal, for example, since I'm doing for Nepal, allowed me with your permission, Mr. Nalaram, with your permission, I like to quote Nepal as an example. Am I get the permission? Can I quote Nepal? Is Nalaram sir is here? Or Mr. Shishir? Okay. Maybe they are busy. So since I'm doing for Nepal, I'm talking about how Nepal can come out with a policy support to make sure the national branding initiative. So these are the example like what Singapore and Australia did. So Mr. Niraj, when there's a policy, he can use this to promote in his area to get. So based on this policy. Second is public-private partnership, PPPs. South Korea, Mr. School, these specialized vocational schools are branded as an elite institution due to the strong ties with the leading industries, ensuring the graduates are highly employable. China vocational education reforms. With increased investment in industry partnership, China is positioning its vocational institution as a center of excellence in emerging technologies. Okay, emerging technologies means the current trend, the 25th technology like AR, VR, XR, MR, all these AI tool-based are emerging technologies in IT. So these are the 2 points: policy support, public-private partnership. If you're really serious about TVET branding, these are the key strategies. I have 4. And number 3 is media and digital campaign. Thailand TVET branding through social media. The Thai government and institution leverage social media campaign to highlight TVET success stories and career prospect, making vocational education more applying to youth. That means it is not only you promote, your media promoting, your everywhere is speaking, everywhere talking about TVET among the youth. So the more you talk, the more awareness, create the awareness. That is important. You cannot produce a sound by clapping a hand. It should be 2 hands to produce the sound. clap 2 hands, the sound will create. The more hands you clap, the more louder sounds will create. So this is how we also go for branding. Media and digital campaign, the more, the better. The awareness is there. Japan digital outreach for skill development. Japan uses digital platforms to connect students with the TVET institution, industry expert, and career opportunities, enhancing the attractiveness of vocational pathway. You see how they use digital platform to connect students with the TVET, with the industries. So it's more to, we are in the IT world, we are in the digital era. We need to use all these platforms. We need to bring. But if the connectivity is a problem, even we cannot give a digital platform, then we want to do TVET branding. That is the biggest challenge. We don't have the ecosystem, but we are aiming for the biggest thing. That is the challenge we need to address first before we go further. The number 4 is integration of entrepreneurship and innovation. Integration. When you have an innovation, you innovate something, you create something, you want to sell it. That is called entrepreneur. You want to commercialize. So India Skill, India Mission, this initiative emphasizes entrepreneurship, branding a TVET as a gateway of self-employment and startup. Currently, India is number 3 in startup and entrepreneurship. Within next 2 years, or maybe before 2027, they will be number 1 in the world creating startups. The government have pumped a lot of money, giving encouragement to the private and public colleges to do startup. They are more to job creators rather than job seekers among the youth. They are going for job creators rather than job seekers. They are bringing this kind of environment. So they are giving a lot of things, encouragement, giving support, the colleges, taking more students, let the ideas grow, support them. And when they start up, they put some agreement, they grow together between the institute and the student. So that is the entrepreneurship. Through the innovation, they become entrepreneur. Indonesia Industry 4.0 TVET reforms by focusing on emerging technologies such as AI, artificial intelligence, and automation. Indonesia brand its TVET system as a forward-thinking and future-ready sector. You see how Indonesia is going. Because of the labor force, they are more than 240 million. So they are using the labor force. They're integrating AI to the sectors. So you bring AI, labor force, a lot of people, cheap investors will go there, open the market, and they will grow their own brand. So these are the brand image, you see. So TVET, industries precaution, industries innovation partnership. This is the future. TVET, industry tied partnership with the top employers. So this is the phenomena which we need to create to our country. What we want, actually. We cannot do everything, but focus on one, your niche area, what Nepal can do through all these polytechnic, university, or public or private, 2-3 areas, and how CTVT can help to enhance this mission to come through. We need to do through CT, because CTVT is the mother body representing the government on controlling the TVET in Nepal. So CTVT need to look for it, and we need to help CTVT to achieve this. Challenges in TVET branding. Social stigma first. Many societies still view TVET as a secondary option compared to the university education. So this is the social stigma, any country. But some countries, the awareness is there. They are changing. They are looking TVET as a potential to bring their social economy to the next level. So in the middle of difficulty lies opportunities. So they are already far-sighted, like China, Japan, Germany, Australia, Canada. They are looking Korea. They are looking on this, Taiwan. So some countries still not the far advanced. Even Singapore is moving forward. Indonesia. So Thailand 50-50. So but SAARC country, India, beside India, the rest still on paper. They are not really moving. But we should move. Inconsistent of quality standard. A lack of standardized curricula and training quality across country can weaken branding efforts. You see, inconsistent quality standard, a lack of standardized curricula, training quality across countries can weaken branding effort. That means the curricula is not revised, inconsistent training quality. So that is why in our APEC accreditation, the upcoming APEC accreditation instrument, APEC have revisited the instrument and they make a very competitive instrument. They upgraded the instrument. When you have an APEC accreditation, you will be the first class institute. And you need to get that, you need to prepare. So we already adapt to the next level in terms of the quality standard. So we need to look into that if you want to bring a very good branding for your organization, institution, and also in line for your country as well. Funding constraint, limited resources for branding campaigns and infrastructure development can hinder efforts to enhance TVET image. Funding everywhere, this is never-ending story. Everywhere, everyone, any country of the part of the world, the funding is a big challenge. You cannot run away. But you need to find a way how I can make, using this small funding allocation, how I can make greater. Yeah? Everybody started with a small, they finish big. Nobody start with the big and grow big. No, they're smart. Start small, they grow. So whatever funding you need, you can pool the funding. If one institution get this, maybe all this funding can be pooled, develop one program, one brand for this year. Next year, we can brand another brand using that fund rather than giving all there and here. So it is the strategy how we want to do. That is very important. So we need to find a way, okay? We need to find a mechanism how with the limited resource, branding campaigns can be achieved with the social media platform. Nowadays, we have a social media. Use the social media. Recommendation for strengthening the TVET branding. Wait, am I missed out some? Okay. Recommendation for strengthening TVET branding. So we have seen what is the brand, the importance. We have seen the challenge. Now we want to see the recommendation. Develop national branding strategy. Government should implement structured branding campaigns highlighting TVET role in economic development. So this is why I say this is very important. I hope CTVT people are also here. You need to develop a national branding strategy. How many brands you want to develop? Don't be too ambitious. Start small, end up big. Step by step. The planning is important. Leverage digital platform. Engaging students through social media, virtual career fairs, and alumni network can improve TVET appeal. So how we can use digital platform using our students. Our students, sometimes they are very good. The 2K kids are good in the social media. They can promote, they got ideas, they can do all kind of things. Use them to promote your alumni, to promote your alumni as a living icon, to talk about TVET. Where are they now? Maybe they are successor. They, like for example, I was working in East Malaysia, in Borneo Island, 4 years ago. And that place, a secondary school, I went for, they asked for STEM program. I was heading STEM in my polytechnic. I went there, brought my team, and I was amazed to see in their STEM exhibition, they put 3D printer, 3 set of 3D printer, and the students are printing. I got shocked. Secondary school can have 3 set of 3D printer. Even in my polytechnic, we have only 1. So I asked, how you get it? So they said, sir, our alumni now working in Taiwan. So we engage them, they sponsor all this. Even they are sponsoring to build a hall for us, multi-purpose hall. You see how powerful is the alumni, and they are somebody now. They are very good. Even they are company owners. So bring them. Most of your youths are working abroad. Maybe they are somebody. Engage them. Once a year, have a function. Bring them, collaborate, and see how we can do things. This is very important. Strengthening Strengthen industry engagement, creating strong linkages with industries and showcasing success stories, enhance credibility and attractiveness. That means you need to create a strong relationship, cannot work in silo. You need to bring industry, work together, see where is the gap, how industry can help, or other partners can help to bring our curriculum to the next level. Don't be afraid. You need to take the challenge. Let it be the comment, but one day we will be better. Listen to them. See how we can do, how they can help. It's a win-win situation. You need to collaborate because we are the supply, they are the demand. So if your supply is not good, the demand won't be there. So your students are not marketable. So you always listen, supply and demand should work together in order to be competitive in the workforce demand. So that's why the collaboration, make them as a stakeholders, work together and see what brand you want to create. They will give you ideas. Regional collaboration. Countries in the Asia Pacific should collaborate on TVET branding initiative to share the best practices, improve mobility for skilled workers. There is a collaboration, regional collaboration. This can be done even in APEC. We have a AAA, Asia Accredited Association, APEC Accredited Association is a sub-wing of APEC, Asia Pacific Accreditation Commission, where all the accredited institutions collaborate each other, go for benchmarking, faculty exchange, student exchange, mobility, and also best practice to showcase. So this is how we need to do regional. We can do for country conferences. Then from there, we can go to regional. If you need anything, something like this, you also can ask CPSC. We can also facilitate you how we can go about it. So this is very important to improve our knowledge. Even we can do faculty exchange, student exchange to show our branding, to bring our branding of the institute, how quality is our student. And also the best practices you use in Nepal to showcase to others. We learn and also we take other good practices from other countries. So TVET is really a success story. TVET is really a success. If you look into success aspect, always look TVET as a positive point. TVET is the answer during COVID. TVET is related to skill. We have, when you talk about TVET, there is 3 indicators you should know. ASK. Can anybody tell me what is ASK stands? Ask. ASK in TVET. This is related to the skill.
It's attitude, skill, and knowledge.
Very good, sir. Mr. Niraj, looks like you are the only one answering all my question. ASK is attitude, S is skill, and K is knowledge. But now, you have all these also not enough. You need to add another one more skill. Can anyone tell me one more skill? ASK is the pioneer, but you need one more skill. Can anyone tell me? Okay. We need communication skill. We need language skill. You attitude good, skill good, knowledge good, you cannot deliver. You cannot communicate. So that is a failure. You cannot, language is a barrier. You want to talk for regional basis or in your other places. So you also need to give communication skill, how to deliver, how to communicate. So ASK, we need to have another C. Okay. So become CASK, cask. Okay. So communication is another new skill you need to adopt. And also, if possible, next is you need to have the attitude must be very positive. If you think negative, whatever skill you have, knowledge you have, all will be failure. So attitude is very hard to measure. Skill and knowledge can measure attitude. So attitude and knowledge is very important. It is a soft skill you need to learn. You need to adapt to make TVET as a success story. If your mindset is not there, if you're not serious, whatever you say, whatever branding, you're not there, then you don't know. If you're already hard into TVET, you know what to do, what brand to promote, what is the image you're going to create, where you want to go by. So your vision, mission, goal must be very clear in order the brand is success to uplift the image of that particular brand. So the conclusion, key point, takeaway point are TVET branding must shift perception from the last resort to the first choice. This is what I say. The mindset from the last resort to the first, not the secondary, not the third. Should be the first priority. TVET is the best. TVET is number one. Industry partnership, enhance credibility and employability. We need to have a industry partnership to make sure it is credibility and employability. The graduate employability, those who are studying TVET, after graduated, within 3 months or 6 months, they can get a job in the particular field. That is called graduate employability. If your graduate employability more than 80%, 85%, you are the best. Most of the Malaysian graduate employability colleges, 90% once they finish TVET. That is the track record in Malaysia. Digital marketing is essential to engage younger audience. So digital marketing is the way, because now we are facing with 2K kids. No more our era. Our era is finished. Now you must understand the students are coming is currently 18 years old. 18 years old is 2K kids. So you need to adapt this. So digital is the answer. By hook or crook, don't say I don't know, I'm not well good. By hook or crook, we need to adapt. We don't know, we need to learn, we need to, if you are still in the service, you need to do this. All the youngsters, young directors, young instructors, please emphasis on digital tools. Learn, relearn, and make sure upskill, reskill, and also adapt to the AI technology. There is a lot. Only thing you need time, browse, understand, and put into practice. That is must. Like a taxonomy bloom. You need a clothes, you need a food, you need a shelter. But now we need a handphone. But now I can say for the digital era in education TVET, we need the digital tools for marketing, all and others. So that is very important. Then the government policies plays a critical role in supporting TVET branding. So government policy should be very clear. Whatever written in the policy should be complied to the real implementation stage. Not on paper, but cannot implement, no budget. If it is going to implement, the budget is there, give it to the proper channel, implement and evaluate and see whether it is workable or not. Do a proper study. So the policy must be written or need to revisit to cater all the needs. That is very important. If the policy is not revisit the whole policy, but you want to do a good things, you can't achieve, because anything rely on the policy, and the policy need to speak, walk the talk. Whatever we write, if we can write a good policy, but we cannot give the funding, we cannot give the resource, we cannot implement, no point. So please look into it. These are my references. Quality TVET in Asian Pacific, branding TVET program through quality image building, governance of TVET in Malaysia, gaps and opportunity for researchers, recommendation towards improving technical vocational education and training in Malaysia, MOE launches, Minister of Education launches branding, uniform, what TVET needs a good dose, because some of the branding, image, out-based curriculum in Asia Pacific, Malaysia is one of the good model to venture to do a benchmarking. That's why I took the reference from there. So with that, thank you very much.